Also, a quick thing, please subscribe, like, and write comments. Thank you. Hello, dear friends and viewers, and everybody else. Thank you for being with me here today. So, I collected a news from Ukrainian front that I will be discussing with you. Let's start. The Russian army launched a series of powerful strikes overnight against Ukraine's military and infrastructure. Explosions were heard in the capital and several regions, and fires broke out in the targeted cities. Tonight, the Russian armed forces launched a group strike using high precision land and air-based weapons against military industrial enterprises in Kiev and infrastructure facilities at the port of Chernomorsk in the Odessa region, used for delivery and storage of military goods, as well as fuel and lubricants intended for supplying the Ukrainian armed forces. The following were hit in Kiev: an industrial enterprise, smart intelligence systems that produced unmanned aerial vehicles of various modifications and components for them, including bodies, electronic components for long and medium-range UAVs, navigation devices, optics and batteries, and assembly and storage sites for unmanned air vehicles in the southern western part of Kiev, where, with the involvement of specialists from Ukrainian American company, up to 1,000 UAVs of various types were produced monthly. Fuel and lubricant tanks intended for supplying the Ukrainian armed forces were hit at the port of Chernomorsk in the Odessa region. Russian forces are advancing in Dobropole. Russian forces are advancing on the Pokrovsk front. Russian forces are advancing in Chasiv Yar. Russian forces are advancing towards Volchansk. Russian forces are advancing through the whole front line. The Investigative Committee of Russia has opened a criminal case on the terrorism charges following an attack by Ukrainian armed forces on the recreation bases in Zaporizhia region, the agency stated. The number of people killed in the shelling of a tourist base in Krylovka has reached 12, including 4 children, and 19 were injured. Ukraine is losing on the battlefield, so they resort to terroristic attacks to divert public attention, but that won't help them in the final outcome. Major fire in Kiev after Iskander strikes. At least 4 missiles hit. A major fire is raging in Kiev following strikes by Iskander missile systems. At least 4 missiles are reported to have been hit. Meanwhile, the Russian aerospace forces are conducting strikes with guided aerial bombs against enemy positions in the occupied Kramatorsk. Damage reported in Chernovsky district. A fire broke out in non-residential buildings in Solomaysky district. Cars and parking areas are on fire in the Desnaysky district. Strikes are being carried out against strikes in Sinilovke, Dnepropetrovsk region. Ukrainian armed force units lost about 1,480 service members in the special military operation zone yesterday. Ground drones struck logistics centers of Nova Poshta in Zaporizhia and Sami. The attacks targeted both large warehouse complexes and parking areas for trucks. Kiev is using postal service infrastructure to transport military equipment. That is a well-documented fact that Ukrainian military is resorting to. Thank you very much for being with me here today. Please like, share and subscribe for more videos.